Well, good evening from the Hill. I want to do a video that I've been promising, at least to start the series on leadership. Now, there's a long list of videos that I'll do on leadership. After leadership, being in leadership for over 35 years for several different companies and myself, being self-employed, there's a lot of videos that will transpire over the next few weeks or months. And I want to start it off by talking to new leaders. One of the hardest things you'll do is your first step into a true leadership position. And it's hard because you want to do the best you can do. You don't want to disappoint anybody. Sometimes I would take a new leadership job, and I had been advertised as a good leader from a mentor, and I didn't want to disappoint that mentor or mentors, whichever the case may be. So that's the first battle, is to understand that you have to do your job. I mean, that's plain and simple. It doesn't get much riper than that. If you do your job and do it to the level that got you promoted in the first place, no one's going to be ashamed. No one's going to think ill of recommending you. So, brand new day. Get on the brand new job. First of all, it may not be perfect. Where you're going may need help. It may have some things left of center, right of center. It's just not going the way you know that you were trained that it's supposed to go, and the policy says it's supposed to go, and you want to follow that track. And you understand that if you're following policy, you really can't be wrong. You can be wrong in people's eyes, but literally being wrong will not be an option because you followed policy. So, first thing you have to learn, it's very, very hard. You have new employees. They don't know you. You don't know them. But what you better know is they're not your friends. They're not your family. They may love you today. They'll hate you tomorrow. You can be hated on Wednesday, loved on Thursday, loved on Friday, hated on Monday. They're not your friends. They're not your family. They're your employees. You know, the main thing I would always try to make sure that I taught anybody that I was trying to mentor into a leadership position is to always treat people with respect and dignity. Even if you're having to get on to them or you're having to chastise them, write them up, whatever the case may be. Do it with dignity. Do it with respect. Because that's what you want back, is the same thing. You know, I had a weird, or I told it was weird. I would have been told many times it was weird. A weird leadership style in that I'm very touchy-feely. Now, with your female staffs, a man has to be kind of careful of that, and vice versa. However, I learned the way to do it and not offend anybody or get in trouble for any kind of harassment or anything like that. But when I walk up to someone, I'm going to talk to them, I'm going to touch their shoulder. The very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to touch their shoulder. I'm going to say, hey, how we doing? How's your day going? I feel like that sets off our conversation with a human vibe, not a stainless steel corporate vibe. And corporations never did anything the people within the corporation does. So I wanted a very human touch, and that was my way to get it. And it worked fine for me for 30-odd years. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. You don't have to do it. But still approach them with kindness. You know, you can get onto somebody, you can chastise somebody, and you can still be nice about it. You don't have to be harsh or coarse. But when you come into a center that's brand new, you're brand new to a center, maybe you followed somebody that was great. Maybe you're following someone that wasn't so great. The person before you was just not that good. Maybe they were a policy hound. which I always was, and I recommend any new leaders to be a policy hound. You can follow policy and still be human about it at the same time. I had a guy tell me one time, one of my employees, a manager actually, that I was grooming for a step up into leadership. I don't know how you do it, boss. I think you could fire somebody and they'd say thank you. Well, I took that as a heck of a compliment, because no matter what's going down, you don't have to quit being nice. But so you've stepped into this role, and the person before you was great or not great, either way, it doesn't matter. However, it's just not tracking the way it should. Policy perhaps is not being followed. The comings and going of staff is not punctuated with a time. Attendance is all over the place. No control. Policy being broke left or right. It runs the gamut. It can be one or all of them. First thing you have to do as a leader is you have to remember, I use the watermelon analogy. You can't eat a watermelon in one setting. You can't pick up a watermelon like an apple and just start eating it expecting to finish. You have to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Correct? Correct. When you're driving down the road, and you're not supposed to text and drive, so don't do that. But let's just say you did. You were looking down at the text and looked up and you were left of center over the yellow line. Well, if you grab that wheel and you jerk it as hard as you can, you're going to end up into the car next to you, or up on the curb, or in someone's front yard. You have to bring that car back gradually. Get it back in line gradually. You can't be herky-jerky about it. It's the same way when you tackle a project like writing an established center or an established store or an established entity. You see what the problem is. I would even make notes about it. I've got to change this, and this. Then the most important should come first on your list. And you work at that and massage it. And massage is a very important word you hear me talk about all through my sessions. You have to massage that first one until you get over between the white lines. And you've got it running like policy says it should run, or HR says policy says it should run. And then tackle the next one. If they're real small problems, tackle a couple at a time if you can, if you think you can. But you're not going to fix everything tomorrow. Give it up. It's not happening, Captain. So remember that, first of all, bite off little bits. There's an old saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this very well, and then I'm going to move on. So fix that first problem. Fix it very well. And then move on to number 2, and number 3, and number 4, and number 5. Until pretty soon, you get everything running great. So be kind. Be nice. Those are 2 really important points. But another thing you need to be is humble. What shows humility more than anything else is gratitude. Wow. Thank you so much for the job you did today. I was watching you work with Henry over there, and good job. I'm proud of you. Do you have any idea how many miles that you can get with that? Be kind, be nice, be humble. Be humble in the way you approach people. Now, I'm not saying hang your head and, hold your head up, but be humble. Let your voice be soft. Let your voice not portray that you're upset if you are or not. Another very important part is, I'm not sure who coined this. I think I did. Nah, probably not. I was always very quick to realize a situation when I needed to fall on my sword. So even if I didn't believe I did something wrong, however, another person did, my boss, for instance, then I was quick to say, oh my goodness, I didn't realize you did that. I'm so sorry. I won't let it happen again. Guess what? It diffuses it instantly. Because you took ownership, even though in your mind and your heart, Wasn't really your fault. You can do the same thing with your staff. You know, one of the lines that I used to use a lot, and it made people uh, from the outside looking in think I had lost my mind, but on the receiving end of it was taking it very well. And it was a term that I used a lot when I saw somebody messing up continuously. When I'd get them one on one, and I would say, you know, I need to apologize to you. I guess I'm just a poor communicator. I'll try to do a better job communicating. What I was trying to communicate to you is you have to do this way, because that's what policy says. So if I've been lax in communicating that to you, I'm sorry. Now, in your mind's eye, you know damn well you communicated. They didn't. They just didn't listen. But that's okay. Be big. You could eat that. But it gives them an out. It gives them an out. It gives them a, whew, okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. So be kind. Tackle one small problem at a time. You can't eat the whole thing. Remember, these are not your friends, not your family, not your relatives. It's not your boyfriend or your girlfriend. They're your employees. And you have a right, even a responsibility, to ensure that they do the job the way the policy is written. Because if the policy is followed, everybody's good. If you're outside of policy, you're fair game. If you can instill that in your staff, that when they don't do their job, someone has to take it up for them, even if it's you, that gets you miles down the road. But be nice about it. Be kind about it. Don't be boisterous. Get the job done. You know, there's another one. There's another method I used a lot, too much, unfortunately, that I'll tell off in later videos. But it's called a one-way conversation. You'll get a kick out of it. So you hang around for some of my other publications, and you wait for the one that says we're fixed to have a one-way conversation. And I hope you never have to use it. But I promise you, at 35 years, it never failed me. So, got a question? Got a problem at work? Drop me a line. Drop a comment in the comment section, and I'll give you my ideas on it. Okay? Go forth and lead. Hold your head up. You did something to get here. You impressed somebody to get here. Keep that in the front of your mind. Get your head up. Be knowledgeable of what you need to done. You know what has to be done. Make sure you have the knowledge. And then go give everybody their marching orders, but be nice. Be kind. And that's it. Wait for the next installment. I hope you're going to love it. Goodbye.